Created characters in Dragon Ball FighterZ. Should it happen? What's going on, everybody? It's Ndukauba, and with Dragon Ball FighterZ being leaked, it does raise one question in my mind, and that is, should created characters be in the game? Now, obviously, created characters have been in Dragon Ball games ever since the Ultimate and KAC days. However, as awesome as it is to have our own created character within the world of Dragon Ball, I just do not see it working in this particular Dragon Ball game. And here are my reasons why. The first reason is, honestly, again, as cool as it is to have a created character in a Dragon Ball Z game, they are majorly broken. And again, this has been apparent ever since the Ultimate and KAC days. Let me give you an example. Let's say that you're utilizing your created character against any random opponent in the game. If your created character has the default created character fighting style, then in melee range, you can be as spread out as you possibly could be. If you throw out an attack, you instantly close the gap between you and your opponent, which was a major problem within the game, and I know a lot of people did not like that. Another example being in the Xenoverse series, which honestly I can't believe I even have to explain this, seeing how apparent it is on how overpowered created characters are. Like, a perfect example is with the Saiyan males being able to do that knockdown combo into God of Destruction's Anger. Or just the general fact that in both Ultimate and KAC and in the Xenoverse series, obviously created characters are able to learn any move in the game. And in Xenoverse, specifically, there are race-specific moves, but it doesn't change the fact that you're able to learn a majority of the moves from a majority of characters on your created character. That caused major issues on both series respectively, and I just do not see that working in this game. It would cause a major problem. My second reason is the fact that it reduces the probability of the main cast being utilized. Now again, this has been apparent ever since Ultimate and KAC. However, in Ultimate and KAC specifically, that was the first game that we were able to utilize a created character, so naturally, that has some sort of leeway to it. It's our first time experiencing that. However, if we migrate to the Xenoverse series, we're already familiarized with having created characters in a Dragon Ball Z game. And alas, people still utilize their created characters more than the main cast. And the main reason is because you put all that time and effort grinding out through the story, you know, leveling up your character, giving them certain moves, trying to find out combos that could give you the edge in battle, all of that stuff. Of course, you're going to be inclined to utilize your created character more than a default character like Goku, Vegeta, Piccolo, Frieza, etc, etc. So it makes sense as to why people would use their created characters, but it still doesn't change the fact that it reduces the chance of the default cast being utilized because of that reason. And last but not least, my final reason is the fact that it just won't flow well in a competitive fighter. Now note that Dragon Ball FighterZ is aiming towards a competitive scene, and in the competitive fighting game scene, custom movesets are not allowed. That's the thing. A good example would be the Mii fighters in Super Smash Bros. For Wii U and 3DS, with the fact of them being in the game as a quote-unquote custom character. However, the difference between that game and, let's say, Xenoverse 2 is the fact that within Super Smash Bros., although they are created characters, they come with a default moveset, and that is the moveset you have to utilize in battle. However, with Xenoverse 2 and even Xenoverse 1 and Ultimate and KAC, your created character has a default fighting style, but they do not have a default moveset. That's why you're able to pick and choose whichever moves that you want from any character in the game and put that on your character. And of course, that gives you a complete unfair advantage towards somebody who's probably just using like a default character. So in the fighting game scene, that is heavily frowned upon. And if they're aiming towards making this game competitive, they will not tolerate any type of custom moveset on a character. So as dope as it would be to have a created character in the game, if they're aiming towards the competitive scene, they can't have that happen. All in all, I do really enjoy having created characters in the Dragon Ball games. I have since the very beginning. However, seeing that this is a traditional fighting game and they're more than likely aiming towards the competitive scene, I just do not see created characters working in this game specifically. Maybe, you know, in the next Dragon Ball Z game, if it's like a 3D fighter or whatever the case may be, then sure. Like, if they're not aiming towards the competitive scene, then yes, I definitely see them being in the game. Obviously, they're kind of a staple now, but if they're aiming towards making this game competitive, I just do not see created characters working, just because of the fact alone that they're broken, most people won't even use the main cast, and they just, in general, don't flow well in a competitive fighter. But those are my thoughts, and I'm fairly certain that you guys have your own thoughts as well. So let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. But nonetheless, that's going to be the end of this video. I really hope you guys enjoyed it. Of course, if you did, please like the video, share it with your friends, and subscribe to my channel. Also, don't forget to follow me on Twitter at NdukaubaYT. And if you want to stay updated for all the videos I upload, don't forget to ring my bell. As always, thanks for watching. See you guys later.